Sunday Night Football. Green Bay Packers at the Minnesota Vikings. New Year's Eve night. Packers-Vikings. Vikings favored by 2 against the Pack.
Yep, both 7 and 8 teams. The Vikings, Kevin O'Connell has basically said he has no earthly idea who is going to quarterback the team at this point. And I think sometimes teams say that, because they think there's a competitive advantage of not telling the opposition who to prepare for. I think Kevin O'Connell genuinely doesn't know who he wants to start. Like, he's now frustrated with all of his quarterbacks. He had Josh Dobbs, who looked like he was a guy briefly and then couldn't move the ball at all. And then he has Nick Mullins, who can move the ball perfectly easily between turnover-worthy plays, which happen every other drive. So now he's looking at this and going, I don't know what to do. I've got one guy that can't function, and I've got another guy who can't get out of his own way for more than 7 straight plays. And in the middle, I've got a rookie who had like one nice drive and then got concussed. So I don't know what to do with that. I think there's a pretty good chance that's true. And I don't even know what the right option is for them.
I do wonder if this is a better Mullins moved the ball so well where, again, it's like if you just don't have 7 turnover-worthy plays, or in the Cincinnati game, 2, including the butt pick 2, Mullins will move the ball. Like, against this Packers defense that is giving a lot of room for opposing receivers. Mm-hmm. Mullins has played well outside of the disastrous 9 plays over the last 2 weeks.
But the one element that I don't know necessarily goes away when you face a worse defense is like terrible decisions with the ball. Because that's the thing, right? Like Green Bay, that's the element here. Green Bay's defense has been so bad recently that most quarterbacks are going to have their best day against them, right? But your best day doesn't stop you randomly throwing the ball to a safety.
Based off my overreaction and what could happen here, based off where Mullins, he had 7 last week, but he's had a lot of red zone turnovers here, right? Cincinnati to end the game last week against Detroit. The butt pick was close to that. Do you go Mullins in between the 20s?
Yes.
Because Dobbs' magic has been red zone this year, right? Scramble drill, just getting the QB run game involved in the red zone. This actually might be the place to run the 2 QB system and have red zone quarterback Joshua Dobbs.
Love it. Love it. Love the idea.
You like 1 to 2 of my ideas per year. And I think that's the second one. So
no, it's fascinating.
Good year for me.
For a completely different style and results and all those kinds of things, Mullins and Dobbs have the exact same EPA per play as quarterback of the Vikings.
How about that?
Right?
They got there in different ways.
That's what I'm saying. Completely different problems, but apparently has resulted in the exact same EPA per play.
I think EPA per play, like, me, I don't love it assigning it to a quarterback, but I think the context and how you get there is interesting, right?
Yeah.
On the other side, Jaire Alexander has been suspended by the Packers.
Yes,
if you haven't heard this story.
It's amazing.
It's because last week in Carolina, Jaire Alexander, who is not elected captain for the Packers.
But is from Charlotte.
So
decided that gave him enough reason to just put himself with the captains and go out for the coin toss.
Went out for the coin toss.
And then make the coin toss.
And then chose defense.
Yes.
Which isn't one of the choices you get.
No.
When you win the toss.
And the refs tried to save him. Did save him, I guess. He said, hey, we want to play on defense. And the ref was like, do you mean defer? It's like, sure. Yeah. Sounds right.
I don't think enough people know this. Again, we talked about it off air, and I feel like I explain this once or twice a year. But the NFL does not allow you to choose offense or defense. We partner with EA Sports and Madden and everything, but Madden has led us astray through the years. You win the coin toss and you choose offense or defense in Madden. That's not how it really goes. You choose to defer your option to the second half, or you choose your option in the first half. The option gives you the option to choose offense or defense. And if you choose defense, well, the other team gets the option in the second half. So theoretically, Jaire Alexander was very close to choosing defense in the first half, and then the Panthers being able to choose what they wanted in the second half would also be offense. And so every now and again, a couple times in history, teams have kicked off both halves.
Yeah.
Because they chose the wrong things.
Right.
Because you don't choose offense, defense, you choose the option to choose.
Yes, if you are making the choice in the first half, you choose to have the ball.
Anytime you have the choice, you have to take offense.
Right.
Is the thing.
Exactly. So when you do make that call in the first half, you choose to have the ball, not to play defense, because otherwise you are literally just giving away a possession for nothing.
So anyway, Jaire will not be there, so we are out of a Jaire Alexander, Justin Jefferson matchup, which is always fun.
Yeah.
Packers defense has been rough. Jordan Love and those young playmakers still very intriguing. I think the future's bright for the Packers. Given how we don't know what's going to happen with Minnesota's QB situation,
Who would
Packers
you start?
defense is rough. Honestly, I would go Mullins Dobbs combo. I would do the combo.
You'd do the combo?
I would do the combo right now.
Between the Cardinals did that with Kurt Warner and Matt Leinart.
Yeah.
And they did it the opposite. So the 49ers did it with Bill Walsh way back in the day, where they would have Steve DeBerg drive to the red zone, and then Joe Montana. The red zone was seen as the easier thing. So they were like, Joe Montana comes in the red zone and just get it over the line. You come in and take the like vulturing a touchdown, right?
Yeah.
And then it flipped. When the Cardinals did it, the red zone was seen as the more difficult thing. So Matt Leinart was the between the 20s quarterback, and then Kurt Warner would come in for the difficult part of actually getting it into the end zone. So that's the way you would go with. You would go Mullins between the 20s and then Dobbs to just add the rushing element.
Mullins' arm in tighter windows, his decision-making in tighter windows has not been great. Josh Dobbs' mobility and his ability to run, I think both of those work well. So I'm going Mullins-Dobbs combo. Where's Matt Collar on it? Get me on Collar's show. We'll break this down.
I'm here for it.
For the Vikings. All right. I got to go.
Okay.
Vikings by 2. Who are you choosing here? Both teams are still in the playoff picture.
Yeah.
So they have to win.
I mean, the Vikings they're the NFC's version of the Texans. They're the first team ready to pounce if somebody slips out of the wild card spots. And the Packers are right behind them.
The Vikings play the Lions next week. There's a good chance the Lions are locked into the 3 seed next week and Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Don't play their players. We'll see.
Man, I don't know about this game. Let's go Minnesota at home.
All right. I'll take Green Bay to cover the 2. We'll see what Harry has.
We'll see.